So the Heritage Trail based over here in the region of Shemshia gives you the opportunity to experience a little bit about the history of Malta by walking through it.
The Xemxija Heritage Trail exhibits some of the original ruins from Malta's ancient history, where most of the old relics come from the period of the Roman occupation, and that includes the quite conspicuous Roman wall that runs through the site, as well as the well-preserved old Roman apiary.
One historical culinary aspect of Malta's history is its tradition with honey, and the apiaries that you see behind me that were built by the Romans, in my opinion, are actually quite telling and somewhat symbolic of that history, of Malta and its association with the creation of honey.
So much so that the ancient Greeks referred to Malta as Melite, which in itself derives from the Greek word for honey. Maltese honey is still famed as a national treasure today, so this apiary stands to almost represent an important cultural symbol that dates back thousands of years. Another historical treasure within the space of a few meters from the apiary is one of the site's several ancient tombs, which we were able to go inside and experience its interior for ourselves. Of course, it no longer possesses the remains of the deceased today, and has probably had several other uses since its former days as a tomb. But while the deceased of antiquity may no longer live to see how this site looks today, and the many tourists that descend upon it, one old relic that still stands strong and very much still alive is the 1,000-year-old carob tree, thus making this specific tree one of the oldest of its kind in Malta. Further on from the old carob tree and along the jagged remains of what was once a Roman road leading up a hill and onto a bumpy plateau, there are many more ancient artefacts to explore, including Punic and Neolithic tombs, which are said to have been created all the way back from between 5000 to 3600 BC. With all these tombs scattered around the area, it would be easy to assume that it was predominantly a place where the dead were laid to rest. But one has to remember that this site has been inhabited for millennia and occupied by different cultures and nations, many of which would have naturally buried their dead here or in the surrounding area. As we had seen earlier, the site had an ancient apiary, but it also held a granary, water cistern and temples. Even some of the older burial caves were later used for habitation. Hence, as far as our archaeological understanding of this site is concerned, we can conclude that peoples and civilizations also lived here.
So many cities throughout antiquity that have been excavated in more recent years have actually discovered that the ancient inhabitants of these cities used to make use of cart tracks, such as the one I'm standing in between right now. Now, these were particularly common in ancient Roman cities to help the transportation of goods and materials from one side of the city to another. But this particular one that I'm standing in between right now here in Malta is actually said to predate even the Roman period and is actually very likely to be prehistoric. So one of the most common relics you find among ancient Roman sites are the Roman baths. Now, this particular Roman bath was actually built from an old Punic cave, which would have been built roughly about 500 BC.
The signature Roman baths, such as the one like this, would have been built shortly after the Romans had conquered Malta and established their settlements, in which, of course, these baths would be built. Shemshia has one of the most interesting histories on the island, but for history buffs, this is far from all there is to see in Malta, but it's definitely one worth going to. And while on the subject of more things to see, not far from Shemshia, one can also find the popular bay areas well known to tourists and locals alike.
So two of my personal favourite beaches here on the Maltese Islands are Tuffieħa, which is the one behind me, and the one adjacent to this one, which happens to be Golden Bay.
Għajn, Tuffieħa and the Golden Bay are sandy beaches surrounded by rocky hills. There are also paths around both Għajn, Tuffieħa and the Golden Bay for those who enjoy a short walk around the coast. These also lead to the top of the hills, which offer breathtaking views of the beaches and the surrounding areas. The beach is also popular with snorkelers during the summer season. The area is also beautiful during the spring when the flowers are in full bloom. If you are brave enough to go for a swim during that time, ensure to keep an eye on the flag system that indicates the safety of the water.
Yeah, we're in plateaus now.
Both beaches are known for their undercurrents, so always beware of that, especially when going for a swim off season. Not too far from the Golden Bay, you can also visit the towns of St. Paul, Bugiba and Kwara, all of which are full of restaurants and bars. And if you'd like to try some authentic Maltese cuisine, check out one of our favourite restaurants in Malta, Ta Paola, which serves excellent traditional Maltese dishes. We couldn't recommend this place enough. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel.